if you have ever second-guessed yourself in a presentation, performance, or game, could you please raise your hand? If you're not raising your hands right now, that's okay. It'll settle on the car ride home. But if it feels awkward to admit, that's because we all know it's true. According to my survey, over 85% of athletes at Brainham High School share this experience. Overthinking is real in sports, in school, and at work, and today, we are going to break it down. As an athlete myself, I have overthought in game a lot, including many of my teammates. However, when you search up this issue on the internet, there isn't much research available. So I decided to take matters into my own hands and conduct a survey at my school, targeting fellow athletes. My goal was to find real solutions. And here's what I found. Over 80% of athletes have admitted that they once have been so nervous for a game that it negatively affected their performance. Additionally, over 85% have admitted that they have overthought too much in a game. But what exactly is overthinking, and what does it do to these athletes in a game? A pessimistic mindset. This means only focusing on the negatives, only picking out the ways things could go wrong. It's as if you're looking through a lens that only sees bad decisions. A lack of confidence. Feeling like you are unworthy of going out and playing. Feeling like you can just do nothing but make mistakes. A fixed mindset. Something you may or may not have learned in school is a concept coin by Carol Dweck. And it's where you're stuck on your mistakes, believing that you're stuck where you are and you can't get any better. Comparing yourself to your opponent. Picking out all the ways the opponent is better than you, whether it be more skilled, stronger, faster, or taller. Focusing on these negatives and comparing yourself to your opponent makes you forget about the solutions that are right in front of you. For example, you're so focused and stuck on the defender that's in your face, you don't see the open shot, goal, lane, or pass that is also right in front of you. Like I said before, I have overthought in the game a lot. I would make stupid mistakes and I immediately wanted to be subbed out. I was worried that I was letting my team down and I would get stuck in this endless mind loop or mind cycle where I would make a mistake. And because I made that mistake, I would get scared that I would make even more mistakes. But playing with that fear, playing with that worry just led me to make, you guessed it, more mistakes. So, how do we fix this? First, you have to acknowledge that you were overthinking in a game. A good player notices that their thoughts are negatively affecting them. Mentally slow down. Not physically, of course, because you have to stay sharp when you're in a game, but mentally. Give yourself time to think through your next step. And again, seek the solutions that are right in front of you. Have you ever heard of the cliche, just breathe? Honestly, when I first heard this, and when I was getting told this, I would get kind of annoyed. Because what could you possibly mean by just breathe? Because I'm breathing right now. Everyone in this room is breathing. I'm sure you're breathing, and I'm sure you're breathing as well. So what could they possibly mean by just breathe? Honestly, I just didn't think it would work that much. But when I found myself in moments of stress and panic and overthinking, I found that my breathing gets really fast, or I would have trouble to breathe. And big shocker here, this doesn't help at all. Depriving your brain of oxygen doesn't help your performance, and it doesn't help you think any better either. So instead, take deep, controlled breaths. And a method that I like to use is called box breathing. And feel free to do this with me. And it's where you breathe in, 2, 3, 4, hold, 2, 3, 4, out, 2, 3, 4, hold, 2, 3, 4. And you can do this as many times as you want. And it's scientifically proven to slow your heart rate and calm your nerves. To again, think through your next step and seek the solutions that are right in front of you. And when I mean seek the solutions that are right in front of you, I mean look for the light. Look for the things you can control. Look for the things you can do, not the things that you can't. Like, for example, right now, you probably saw that little mistake that I switched with my slides, and I'm kind of freaking out, and I'm nervous, and my palms are really sweaty, and I'm scared that none of this is making any sense at all, or I'm boring you to death. But hey, I'm going to take a deep breath in and out. And I'm going to take this opportunity to share my insight with all of you. Anyways, you also have to adopt a goldfish mentality. You know, just keep swimming. It'll hurt you and your team more when you're stuck on your mistakes. I learned this method by interviewing a varsity volleyball player, and she shared that on her team, they have a phrase where they just be a goldfish, forget the mistake, move on, and keep playing. You know, some say that goldfish are one of the happiest beings on Earth because it's a common belief that they forget things every 2 seconds. So, just be a goldfish. You won't have time to be stuck on your mistakes because you would have already forgotten all about them. Also, when you're so stuck on all these negatives and thinking all these bad thoughts, you forget about your very own skill. And you have to remember, you know I said to be a goldfish, but only when it comes to your mistakes, not your skill. Allowing you to remember your skill allows you to seek the solutions that are right in front of you. And if there aren't any that you can see, remembering your skill allows you to make them. And yes, there are ways that you can prepare before a game. In my survey, 90 respondents have shared ways and methods that they like to mentally prepare before a game. Of the majority of these responses, most of them focus on relaxation. Around 30% have shared how they like to listen to music before a game. And this is something that I actually like to do as well. Before this speech, actually, I was listening to music with all the speakers in the bathroom and we were hyping each other up. Also, around the same amount have shared that they like to give themselves positive affirmations. You know, when Lightning McQueen tells himself, "I am speed," this really works. Telling yourself, "I am strong, I can do this, I got this," is way more beneficial than telling yourself, "I suck," or "I'm terrible," or "I'm trash." We love a humble person, but your words are powerful, and I'm here to remind you that you're better than that. Additionally, around 20% have shared that they like to take deep, controlled breaths. Like what I was saying earlier, you know, it doesn't have to be a whole long meditation, but just regulating your breathing to put you in a more calm mental state. Also, if you're more of a strategy-oriented person, respondents have also shared ways that they like to plan and strategize before a game. They shared that they like to look over film, talk to their coach, or even look at stats on the other team to know what to focus on in the game. They also shared that they like to reflect on past practices or games to know what went wrong, what went well, and what they need to improve on to be prepared for their next game. You know, a really cool method that I learned is called visualization or mental rehearsal. Respondents have shared that they like to visualize themselves in scenarios of success in a game, whether it be shooting that shot, scoring that goal, making that pass, or taking that lane. It puts them in a much more positive mindset. Something that I've realized is I have actually been visualizing giving this TED Talk for years now. And here I am up on this stage talking to all of you. Just to remember, these tips aren't just for athletes in sports. It can be applied to everyday life as well. So, to conclude, the next time you find yourself spiraling in your own thoughts, out of control, take a deep breath and be a goldfish. Forget the mistake, remember your skill, and seek the solutions that are right in front of you. Because the game, the real game, isn't happening in your head, it's happening out there. And you deserve to play it with confidence. Oh my gosh, guys, I have always wanted to say this. Thank you for coming to my TED Talk.